Let's talk about picking tops and bottoms in the market. You know why? Because picking tops and bottoms, after all, is one of the most coveted skills in all of the financial world. It doesn't matter whether you are a short-term trader or a long-term trader like Warren Buffett. Your ability to consistently pick major tops in the market and to find the areas that turn out to be major lows in the market is one of the most valuable skills you can ever accumulate in this business. I started trading back in 1981. I placed my first trade ever in my life in 1981. It took me 6 years to really fight and struggle, some of the darkest years of my life, traders. Some of the most depressing years of my life were those first 6 years. It's a wonder that I actually made it. Because back then, there was no help, there were no teachers, there were no mentors, there was no way to practice, there were no groups, there was no internet. And so it was a very, very dark and lonely road those first 6 years. But I digress. Listen. I realized very early on that there were two types of traders that you could develop into, two broad categories. One was the category called consistency. You could become a consistent trader, or you could become a big winning trader. Now, let me explain the difference to you. The difference is the consistent trader, the trader that focuses on consistency, is not necessarily a big winner trade by trade. The wins are average, the wins are normal, the wins are decent, but they're not wow, but they happen all the time. Now, let's go to the other group. The other category of a trader is the big winning trader. That's the trader who loses actually quite regularly. But when they win, oh my God, it is newsworthy. It is attention grabbing. It's wow. So early in my career, I had to decide which route was I going to go down. I loved the idea of being wowed by having these huge wins. But what about the periods of consistent losing before finding that big giant win? That did not appeal to me because I had a young daughter I had to support. I had a family, I had a home and bills to pay. So I opted to go down the route of consistency and to forego the occasional big wins that creates more attention. So today, I actually look back on that history and I understand that I can see clearly now that I made the right choice. I love that style of market play. I am known for two things today in this industry. And for the past 20 plus years, I am known for my high level of consistency. Oliver rarely loses. I lose a lot more frequently than most people are aware, but I don't lose very frequently. My wins are rather normal from professional standards. My wins aren't extraordinarily wow, but I will outpace you with the consistency almost every single time. Boom, 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 boom. And while the other style is waiting for that final big win to come about, I'm just outpacing them. Boom, 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 boom. Right? The other trader will lose very frequently and very regularly. But when they win, it's like, oh my God. And there is no right or wrong when it comes to these two styles, traders. There's truly no right and wrong. In fact, it can be more personality driven than anything else. I'm very glad I chose the consistency route. I'm not as popular or potentially famous as some of the bigger traders that have the wow moments, but my style tends to outperform them in the end. So I'm happy about that. So I'm known for that style. I'm known for that high level of consistency that outpaces the other style at the end of the day. I'm also known for the second thing. My ability to fairly regularly pick a top and bottom with precision and the utmost accuracy. And this skill is the most coveted skill of all. And I hope that over the past several months, right here, you've seen and gotten a taste of that skill. I hope that you've seen firsthand my ability to do this. And this is one of the most important skills that I want to share with you here. I want you, all of you, to have the ability, irrespective of the market that you play, with a high degree of regularity, to be able to tell when you are near a top and when you are near a bottom. Now listen, do you remember back in December, the 14th of December of 2019 in particular, where I told you enjoy this market while it lasts because we are very close to a very, very sharp decline. I hope you remember on February 6th, I believe it was, in Orlando, Florida, when I was invited to speak to the entire industry, where my message was very simple. Don't ever buy again. I said that facetiously, but I said it to drive a point that we were at a top and very, very close. In fact, I told my audience, the world that day, that it was better to be a seller than a buyer. And I also hope that you remember on the 12th of March, the day before my NASDAQ honor, when I told you that I was covering those shorts because I felt we were very, very close to a market bottom, and that I was going to take all of the gains from my play on the short side and put it into the cryptocurrencies, more specifically Bitcoin and Ethereum. Today, traders, today, I am proud to show you that that move has earned a better than 120% return on my capital. Now, I made it my business to make sure you knew on all of my various social networks every time I acted in the cryptocurrencies, every time I bought, every time I added. I pounded the table as hard as I could on this. And I'm willing to bet that not many of you took advantage of it, but it was there for you. And I'm very, very proud to look back over the last several months and to see that I was very persistent in letting you know. So I'd like you to take a look briefly at the past several months and my messages to you for two things. I want to show you that this ability that I tell you that I have is absolutely real. I've worked on this ability over the last 3 decades of my life. That ability is real, and it's in your face right here. Take a look. I also want to motivate you for the future. I want you to know that you are in the right place. I want you to know that you are dealing with someone who has not regurgitated someone else's information. What you hear from me is authentic. What you get from me comes from my 33 years of professional experience in this industry. You're not talking to or dealing with an individual who's taken someone else's courses or read someone else's books and has repackaged and regurgitated someone else's information and is now presenting it to you. That's not who you have here. You have a pioneer in this industry. You have someone who started in 1981, who started his professional career in 1986. You have someone who has written books and has had books written about him. You are dealing with someone who has accolades over the past 30 years in this industry. And I don't want you getting distracted with things that don't matter. Here, you will learn how to develop the skill of picking market tops and bottoms the way I have over the last several months. You will learn how to double your capital like I've done over the past 7 weeks. And you will learn how to fortify the mindset of a truly masterful, successful trader. I vowed to myself and to my personal God many years ago that if I were to ever make it, I would make sure I leave behind a legacy and a body of work that served as a help and a foundation that I missed back in 1981 that was not there. I believe wholeheartedly that when you master something, it is your responsibility after mastery to give back. And that is what I do here. Take a look at what I advised you of and what I told you about over the past several months. Enjoy, and don't ever forget, I am your mentor for life. Ciao for now.
Professional traders like me, we pray for these types of markets virtually every single day. My trading career, I've actually made the largest amounts of my profits during bad times. 2008, the year 2000, there were too many pullbacks in the market in 1997, 1998. While I was too young to really profit in a big way off of the crash of 1987, it was my first opportunity to understand that huge amounts of gains can be had in down markets, much more so than up markets, but you have to be prepared for this. You have to have strategies that are already in set to take advantage of this should this event happen. I believe that we potentially are setting ourselves up to what could be one of the largest market declines in history. Be careful. Enjoy this market while you still have it in bull stage, because I believe that we're not too far off from this event that I'm talking to you about. Now mark this day down, put it in your calendars, because I believe that one day in 2020, you'll remember exactly what I said here today.
My message here was you better buy and never sell. Now, my message today to you here, what do you think it is? Don't you ever, for the rest of your life, I'm being facetious, but don't ever buy again. After the market has expanded and your 3 items are apart. Now, let's go to the NASDAQ, the same. This was my last talk. The 3 items are tight together. We have gone through multiple years that have now separated the 3 items apart. The worst possible time to be a buyer. And if it's the worst time to be a buyer, then naturally it's the best time to be a what? A seller. And a big one. Now, it is my belief that this market has been primarily driven by indiscriminate buying, which means that it's not intelligent buying, that it is not thoughtful buying. It is not the buying of a Warren Buffett. It's the automatic buying of index funds. And let me tell you something, every trend reverses. I'm willing to bet the biggest period of my life, after 33 years, the biggest one is coming now. This is going to be, in my opinion, one of the severest collapses the market has experienced in its history.
We're not trading companies, we're trading people. Hi traders, another crazy but amazing morning in the markets. Limit down once again. You guys should know what that means. I am going to be covering today a good percentage of my shorts. My shorts have allowed me to benefit from this market decline over the last several weeks in a huge historical way. Very pleased about that. I'm going to be covering some of those shorts and potentially looking to reposition for those shorts later on any rebound. I'm also putting out a major buy alert on Bitcoin and the cryptos. So I'll be looking to establish some really heavy long positions, and I'm willing to average down on those long positions with the cryptos, okay? So more to come, guys, more to come. Boom, NASDAQ tomorrow.
I'm buying more than Bitcoin, Ethereum, right? Let me just try to show you this. I'll show you. We don't need to rush with this. We don't need to rush with this. This is an interesting time. Like, see this 20 coming down to meet the price? Like, we don't have to rush. And if this drops again, I will be coming in. I just want you to know that. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm going to start doing for you is showing every buy legitimately with real money, real account. Fuck it. Let's do it. You want to follow me? That's fine. I'm not saying follow me. But I'm going to walk you through this cycle. You're going to see how a master trader works this. I'm excited. I'm excited about it. We have a great opportunity. We have a great opportunity. I bought more on Thursday. I bought more Ethereum Thursday. So if you take a look, let me see if I can show you that. So look guys, my 4 buys in Ethereum happened here. Like I bought here. And that's just a really advanced tactic. It's just, I just felt like Ethereum below 100 there is just crazy, right? So I bought here. This is an anticipation buy, but the rest are green eliminates red. See right there. Boom. That's number 2. Here's 1. So look, green eliminates red in a powerful way. Boom. There's 3. And 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I guess so. This is 5. That's just terrible that I'm getting this mixed up. All right, look, here's 4. And so here's my 4th buy. You see the green eliminating red there, right off the rising 20? Boom. So there's 5. And look at today.